My name is Grace Abeni, and I live in a small village called Nokoro, deep in the western part of Nigeria. This isn't a story I ever wanted to tell, but maybe someone out there needs to hear it. 3 years after my husband died, I was left alone in a quiet house that once echoed with laughter. The evenings were the hardest, silence pressing against the walls, loneliness creeping in like cold wind. One morning, I made a decision I would come to regret for the rest of my life. I invited another woman, a poor widow named Mira, to live with me. I thought I was helping her. I thought I was saving both of us from loneliness. But I didn't know then that I was welcoming death right into my home. Mira came to my house with nothing but a small bag and a soft voice. She called me Sister Grace and promised to help with house chores and keep me company. At first, everything felt peaceful. She would sweep the yard, make my tea, and talk about her hard life. I pitied her. She said her husband had left her, that she had no place to go. Slowly, I started to trust her. I even gave her a small room inside the house. She smiled a lot, always said, "God will bless you for this." Weeks passed. My house felt alive again. But then, I began to notice small things. My jewelry box moved. My phone was sometimes missing. And one night, I heard her whispering on the phone in the kitchen. Her tone cold. Nothing like the soft voice I knew. When she saw me, she smiled and said she was talking to her cousin, but something inside me felt uneasy. I pushed it aside. After all, she had become like a sister, or so I thought. It started with the tea. Every morning, Mira would prepare it for me. Sweet, warm, just how I liked it. But one day, after drinking it, I felt dizzy. My head spun. My stomach burned. Maybe it's stress, I told myself. But the next day, it happened again. And again, my body grew weak. I couldn't eat, couldn't stand for long. Mira's concern looked real. She'd say, "Sister Grace, you must rest. Let me handle everything." But her eyes, they didn't show worry. They showed something else. A shadow, a secret. Then one evening, she was on a phone call again. Her voice was low but sharp. I stood by the window and listened. "She's getting weaker every day. Soon it will be done," she said. My blood turned cold. I dropped the cup I was holding. It shattered on the floor, and so did my trust. The next morning, I went to the clinic in the next town. The doctor examined me and frowned. He asked, "Who cooks for you?" When I told him, he sighed heavily. "Grace," he said quietly, "you've been taking small amounts of poison, probably in your food or drink." My world stopped. All I could hear was my heartbeat. She was poisoning me. Slowly, the doctor called the police. They gave me medicine to flush out the toxins and asked me not to go home alone, but I needed to see it with my own eyes. That night, I returned quietly with 2 officers hiding behind the fence. Mira was in the kitchen pouring something into my teacup. They caught her red-handed. When the police handcuffed her, she screamed, "It was my house! You promised me everything." I stared at her, numb. I had promised her food, shelter, kindness, not my life. Mira was taken away that night. The villagers couldn't believe it. They said, "Grace, you saved yourself by God's mercy." For weeks, my body healed slowly. But my heart, it still trembled every time I poured tea. Sometimes I sit on the porch and look at the gate where she first entered my life. I think about how loneliness blinded me, how kindness nearly cost me everything. Now, when people ask why I live alone again, I smile softly and say, "Because peace is better than company that kills you slowly." Sometimes, the people we welcome with open hearts are the ones who come to destroy us from within. Grace's story from the small village of Nokoro reminds us that trust is precious. And once broken, it can never be the same again. If you've ever helped someone and been betrayed, remember this. Your kindness is not weakness. It's strength, the kind that evil minds will never understand. Stay strong, stay aware, and never let loneliness make you trust the wrong heart again.